Maximum Threshold Radio. I'm with Ross and Bob from Immolation. What's up, guys?
What's up, man? How's it going?
It's going good. I want to thank you for taking a couple minutes out to talk to us. How's the tour been going so far?
Really good, really good.
Good turnouts?
Yeah, it's been a strong tour. I mean, you can't beat the lineup. The lineup's been amazing. I mean,
Shows have been like
a lot of
sold
sellouts.
out or full capacity almost.
That's awesome. That's what I was going to ask you. This is like the...
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been, like I said, very strong, enthusiastic crowds. I mean, you know, and like I said, the lineup, you can't go wrong. Like, everybody knows each other. Everybody's cool. No egos, no bullshit. It's just a nice, smooth, easy tour. So not only is it a good tour, it's a fun tour for us, you know.
Are you kind of like... Because from a fan's perspective, it's like, Jesus Christ, man, fucking Corpse and Napalm Death and Immolation. That's like the big three of like extreme music, man. That's how I've been tweeting it out and getting
nice. Yeah, no, it's definitely, I mean, you know, even for us, when we heard about the tour, we were like, wow, yeah, we'll do whatever we gotta do to do it.
So that's cool. So like, oh, fuck, I gotta go play with Barney. Or
We're like, what? Barney's fucking
Barney, I know.
What a wanker.
fucking Barney's.
Fucking wallets.
What a wanker.
That's awesome, man. So I'm gonna date us all a little bit here. In '91, you put Dawn of Possession out.
Right.
Did you ever think 22 years later that you'd be still sitting here stronger than ever, putting out albums, playing shows, or?
No, we never, well, first of all, we never really looked that far into the future. You know, we get the one album out, and we do that, and then when that's all done, then you're like, all right, we gotta get the next album together. So,
So 5 years later, we get the next album.
yeah, but we never, I mean, you know, back then, I mean, if you would have told me, yeah, we'll be around, you know, 25 years after the fact, still doing, you know, going strong and, you know, being out with such great bands, I would have, yeah, whatever.
And stronger than ever, too. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, you guys have the weirdest, most eerie sound. Without, I don't even know, like, you guys know. But every album sounds different, but it's still an Immolation.
Oh, cool.
Do you guys, is it like, you go in there and you're like, all right, man, we really got to outdo this one, you know, like, here and after.
Well, it's more like, well, you're not so much outdo, but you're just, all right, we do the best we can, and that's it. And whatever comes out naturally is how it works, you know. I mean, the last 3 records we did, 3 releases, Majesty, Providence, and this, well, written on the computer, so it made it easier, it enabled us to be more creative and work on stuff and almost do it the whole pre-production for each record.
All those layers and everything.
Yeah, it's great. You can do, you know, I could send the songs out to the guys who's got drums, guitars, overlay guitars. I mean, it gives you the whole idea how the song's going to sound, and then we can tweak it from there, and it just makes it a lot easier. So, yeah, it's been great doing it that way. But there's no, it's always like, let's just do the best we can. You know, there's no. That's the only way you can really do it. You can't say you're going to top it or this or that. You just every album represents where we are at that time musically, and we don't have anything left over from album to album, so once the new one starts, it's all fresh stuff, you know, so that's probably why the records have that certain kind of feel. Each one has their own little feel, because everything's written within that particular time frame for that release.
Right. And when you guys sit down, do you do your vocals first, and then you say, hey, fuck, this is what I got lyric-wise?
Nah, the lyrics don't happen until like we usually in the studio.
Okay.
Like we had all the music done, and then like I didn't present the concept for the album to these guys until like we were like the day before we went in the studios. So what do you think about this? You know, this is kind of what, you know, I'm thinking, and they were like, yeah, you know, let's fucking do it. And then we started working on the lyrics while we were in the studio tracking drums. You know, it wasn't like I had a whole ton of lyrics before we went in and everything was kind of arranged. No, it doesn't happen like that. We usually, I need
kind of tailor them to the music, because
yeah.
like, he'll get ideas, I'll get ideas, but like he had a lot of good concepts for this one, and you know, present the ideas, you know, and then we just kind of take that and work it out, and then, you know, musically I'll have ideas as well, so it's like we'll try and fit, like if a certain part has a certain feel, it's like, yeah, let's try and make this part more, you know, lyrically a little bit different or whatever, you know, and it's all really revolves around the music, I guess you should say, lyrically.
So I absolutely need the music before you could even start the lyric process, because you get a different vibe from every song. Each song is completely different, you know.
Right.
So, you know, certain ideas or concepts may lend better to certain, you know, musical arrangements, you know, and vice versa. So that's why you need the music first, and then you move forward to the lyrics. So.
Right. And after this tour's going on, this is where I'll kiss you guys' ass a little bit. We're sitting one of the greatest death metal vocalists and bass players, just slaps the shit out of it. And without doubt, without a question, one of, if not the best death metal guitarist in the history, Bob. And that Dawn of Possession still stands up till this day. It's like, it's cool, you guys deserve it, man. You guys deserve it.
I just look funny on stage.
Yeah.
I get by that way.
Rock the fuck out, brother.
If nothing else, he makes the best fucking milk shakes, I'll tell you.
Hey, Barney, some good little shakes.
Giving Barney some shakes.
Yeah, some good banana chocolate
And
stuff.
Dawn of Possession is arguably, it's up there with one of the greatest death metal releases of all time. So,
I mean, I guess it depends on, you know, when certain things come out, it's always special to you at that point in time. Like if you're
Don't
just
be
getting
modest.
into music, no, for real. Like if you ask me, like, oh, when certain albums came out, you know, you always, you know, they're always kind of like they're always have that special place because of where you were at that point in your life. You know, if you're like 15 and like, you know, like Rain and Blood comes out, obviously, well, it's a great album regardless, but you know. It's special because it's when you were like into that music in your teens and you had a lot of things going on in your life and you were still kind of not quite mature yet, you know what I'm saying? So I think for a lot of people it's you know it's a very nostalgic thing too. It's you know, and not just that album. There were a lot of like classic albums that came out around that time. I think it's that point in time. I think that really people have that soft spot, you know, within themselves for, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. So, and I get it because I'm like that with some of the earlier stuff, like some of the early Maiden stuff and Judas Priest stuff.
was there any plans like on the anniversary that the tour and maybe play it in its entirety? Are you guys not into that?
No, we wouldn't do that. We're not. You know, we were never a band to rely on like, you know, our early stuff to kind of carry us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know. I think everything we do is relevant and strong, you know, and that's why like this tour we're playing mostly stuff off the new record because like the new record is where we are right now. That's to me like the strongest thing we've done, you know, in our career, you know. And obviously fans are gonna disagree. You guys 9 different fans are gonna pick 9 different records, which is their favorite. You
I'll
know?
fight every one of them right now. Tell me, line them up and they'll be on the floor. You guys are fucking awesome. I can't. Out of all the bands, man, it's you just get like those weird time changes and the way the drums are following you and everything's going. But I mean, still, it's Immolation, man. You know.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, at least if nothing else, we've at least kind of established our own identity.
Absolutely.
You know, which I think is important. You know, and you know, some bands have that and some bands don't. You know what I'm saying? Some bands you can listen to and say, ah, it sounds like this, sounds like that. But there are some bands that definitely have their own thing going on, their own identity. And like, luckily, we were kind of able to kind of sort that out earlier on, like by the first, second records. You know, once the second record came out, like that was pretty much it. And obviously, over the years, we've definitely, you know, we've tweaked everything. We've matured as people and as musicians and whatnot. And you know, things are always evolving in the, you know, in a forward direction. You know, not going backwards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you kind of take, you know, what you didn't like about the last one, and you try to improve on that a little bit, and that's all you could do. You know, you're never gonna write the perfect record.
Right.
You know, it's just that where you are at that moment, you hope that's at least, you know, one of your better ones.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you could really strive for more than that, because then you just defeat yourself. You know.
Right on. Now, was there a strong decision to kind of get away from the anti-religion and go more to current events and the politics?
Yeah, I mean,
and
actually,
stuff?
when Unholy Code came out, that was right after 9/11, and that's kind of where we had that shift. You know what I'm saying? Like, because prior to that, all the records were about, you know, religion. They were based on religion, you know, and I think people know, you know, that we're very much atheists and how we feel about religion, you know, and it's all religions, I think. It's
Right.
a way that people are controlled and manipulated, you know. So yeah, we've said, you know, more than enough on that one, you know.
Right.
So, you know, so it was time. So when that all happened, we were kind of in a different headspace because we were right there when all that went down.
Right.
And you know, you kind of look at things a lot differently after something like that happened, and it really did change everything from that point. And then I think the albums from that point on have, like, lyrically gone in a different direction, like Bob said. So, you know,
Did you catch a lot of shit for that?
no, because it's subtle. It's never done in a political way. Although there's always the undertones of the politics in
Right.
there, because you can't touch on one thing without, you know, touching on the other, you know what I'm saying? But we were never a political band, so you know, it was like trying to find the way to kind of, you know, incorporate those ideas into the lyrics without getting blatantly political, which would probably turn off a lot of our fans, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, you don't want to be preachy as well. I don't like to be preachy, so we just kind of throw it out there. It's kind of our take on everything, our take on the world, our take on what's happening, whether it's here or, you know, globally, really. And that's kind of where we are with the new record, you know. We've just taken a step forward with the new record, just because I think right now the times we're living in right now are just kind of, you know, kind of scary in a lot of ways. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. I mean, you know, and I think everybody kind of knows where it comes from. You know,
Now they said it's okay. A couple of days ago they brought up the Verizon. It's okay for.
Well, sure, but we've known that's been happening. I
Right.
mean, we didn't need that to come out officially. We've known they've been doing that since the Peabody Act's inception. You know what I'm saying?
And they hide behind that.
Exactly. So there's a lot of things, you know, but it's not just here though. It's everywhere. You see this whole global meltdown. You know, I mean, look what's going happening in the EU. You know what I'm saying, with the austerity measures and blah blah blah. So yeah, it's all over. So it's a combination of everything. And that's kind of where we are with this record.
So you're telling me you're not going to go the James Hetfield way of making music and start singing and have this horrible singing voice, and Bob's going to say,
Next record.
hey, you got to. Do you guys agree? Like, whoever told Hetfield, hey man, you have a really good singing voice, you should try doing it more often, and do it on the old shit too, because it sounds really, really cool. And I hate to bash on people, but the guy can't fucking sing to save his life, man. I'm better in the shower when I'm all fucking half out of it and got a cold, and, you know?
Well, you know, listen, I've been out of the loop with Metallica for a number of years now, you know what I'm saying?
As has a lot of
you
people.
know, it's like nothing that they've done in the last, I don't know, I can't even tell you how many years has really like hit me and been like, wow, that's great, you know? I think after Master of Puppets, you know, I was kind of, you know, Justice for All was okay, and then, you know, the Black Album, I liked some of that, but after that...
The half that they could play on the radio was actually good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But then, on that, I'm like, yeah, whatever. They did their thing, and that's all right.
Yeah, they cashed in there. They don't. What about the Sabbath? Have you guys heard any of the new Sabbath?
No, my buddy just sent it to me, emailed it to me, so I haven't had time to listen to it yet. Is it? Oh, damn.
Oh, it was always gonna be. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I understand that, and I'm
I'm gonna jump in at this point. I have to stand back and in. I'm from the fucking
Right.
hood, you know what I mean?
He's from the hood!
Have you heard any of it?
I don't wish to, but I can tell you right now, I know that sounds really stupid, but I can tell you right now, it ain't going to be nothing. Because the whole motivation behind that project is not as we would think. If we were getting back together again, you know, as small to medium-sized bands, there's a certain amount of doing it because it feels like the right thing to do. But our sense of the Sabbath thing is very much a financial alliance. As has been witnessed to the stuff with the award, you know.
Right.
And I just don't think they have the prowess now, songwriting wise. You've only got to look at the individual bands they've been involved in, like the small projects in and there. Average at best.
Right.
So why would the Miss Sabbath be any more, any less than that?
I remember those ones. Everybody's like, oh, did you hear that? It's like, yeah. I never expected to be anything.
You got the riff master going on.
You heard, yeah, but did you hear the song that was on the they put the thing they recorded in Birmingham, and that's the first show of the comeback with John Zap.
Right.
You heard the track on the end of that, it's like a fresh studio track that I recorded.
No,
It's fucking awful.
this shit
Yeah, it's fucking awful. You know,
there's hardly any solos. The best song on there, I think, it's Zeitgeist, and it's a blatant ripoff of Playing Caravan, and it's the coolest song.
the stuff that he did in recent years, was that any fucking good? Not really.
It was better than this.
Yeah, but if we at a stretch, at a push, considering the musicians that are involved,
Right.
that in any way be put up against any of the stuff that was released 1971 to 1982 or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not in any way, shape or form. Sorry, I had some joy.
No, you're
I agree, 100%. I haven't heard it yet.
Sorry.
A little friggin'
And then I got one more for you guys. What do you guys listen to? What's on the iPod? Too easy, bring it with you.
I haven't listened to shit on this tour. I haven't had time, man. I listened to like, I think friggin'
house rate like twice.
That was about it.
Bill, I told Bill to record a few albums on his zip disk or whatever. That was.
We had one long ride where we actually got the iPod, Steve's iPod hooked up, so we were listening to like he had just a mix of all different stuff, you know. And then we got a couple CDs around the West Coast, the new certification, and the new Electric Rocker. This is really good, the new Electric. What else? I heard the new Lopez track on Lockdown though. Yeah, I don't know vocals, you know, but I just heard the music, and that's in a bizarre, man.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. It's
So they kind of went back to old school, City Dead type stuff, man? Or?
well, no, later stuff like really bizarro,
Like
warp,
avant-garde
yeah,
stuff.
great, like really global, man. Just it was just music. There was no lyrics.
Right.
Just streamed this song on Loudmouth, and I saw it like the other day. We were home for a couple of days.
Okay.
The first time I actually had time to go online and just dick around. You know what I'm saying? But it's been a very busy tour for us. It's like Bob and I are doing all the driving, we're selling the merch, we're performing, and so we wear many hats on this tour. So.
Nice, it makes the time fall.
It's Admiral, of course.
That's cool, man. I'll let you guys get going. I appreciate it. Can I get one favor from you?
Yeah.
Can I get you to do a stationary comment for us? You say Ross and Bob or Immolation, and you're listening to Maximum Threshold, or Maximum Threshold Radio?
Sure.
Okay.
What's up, people? It's Ross Stone of Immolation, and you're listening to Maximum Threshold Radio.
Hey everybody, this is I'm video with Immolation, and you're listening to Maximum Threshold Radio.
Cool. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, man.
I appreciate it.